Hi, Kristen. How are ya? It's getting kind of lonely here. It's impressive. Hey-o, Andrew. The ceiling is up. It's true. Hi, Amy. Amy, there's a specific dog question in the Discord group, specifically for you. So, if you're on your screen, is there a dot right here above my finger? I've scratched my screen and it doesn't come off. And when I move my no dot, Kristen has a dot, Amy has no dot. The mystery continues. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. I know exactly what it is. You'll have to guess. This will be a game. It's not a ghost. Yeah, it might not show up on a smaller screen. That's a good point. I don't know. There's a dot right there above my finger. And whoever guesses what it is correctly, I have nothing to give away. I'm sorry. Oh, on the like landscape type instead of portrait, you can see it. Okay, yeah, think about it. Now remember, I'm at the church. This is the stage. It has been here for a while. Has not been added recently. My phone. Kristen, you're close. You're very close. Wouldn't that be funny? Okay, so every now and then I go on a cleaning spree just because I can't take my own mess anymore. And I'll clean behind the curtain. If you've ever seen what's behind that curtain, you understand how big of a job this is. So every now and then I'll get really ambitious and I'll clean up back there. And I'll find like 20 darts or something because they fly perfectly. There's a seam that goes straight down right here, and they'll fly straight through that seam, or they'll go like right to the floor back here and then just get swept under or something. Kristen, yes, you guessed it. And the popular name for the hangy lights are hangy lights is the other technical term. Hangy lights. Yes, yes, the Christmas lights. I was like, what on earth could that be? So I was recording Den the other day too, and one of the Christmas lights just catches the light, and I was like, what in the world is that? But I got to look back and see it hanging. You guys can't see it very well because of my fancy lighting here. Yeah, but it was snowing this morning, so Christmas in May. Okay, has it been snowing like an awful lot for it being May? I've only been in Canada for 10 years. 11 years. I don't ever remember snow in May. It's nuts. Coupled by the fact that we can't go anywhere, it's like debilitating on the spirit. Like bad. That's cool. If I put my hand here, my camera temperature changes. Purple, blue, purple, blue. I get entertained by the easiest things. Snow in May should be illegal. Oh, it's been brutal. I do not like the weather right now. Not a fan. So when my alarm goes off, that means YouthTube starts. 1 more minute. Do, 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 do. This is my phone. What's it say? Alarm will go off soon. How do you get your chat window? Yeah, if you're on your computer, there's like little boxes. My alarm. Hey-o! I'll silence that. Sorry. Oh, man. It has been only a week since we've last been together, and yet it feels like, I don't know what it feels like. It feels like at least 3 years have gone by since we've last been together, and I miss you guys. I do. I'm glad that we could be here together, and we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to go through a lesson tonight. I am, as you can see, over at Cornerstone in the church. I know, it's crazy to be here, and honestly, it's eerily quiet. So the church is not intended to be this quiet on a Wednesday night when we're having YouthTube, youth night. It just should not be this quiet. And then what I didn't think about is that tonight when I leave, everything's going to be dark. And have you ever been in a building, in a big building, when it gets dark and it's scary and there's this alarm beeping at you? Yeah, that's what I have to deal with tonight. So I hope you're appreciative of me being here for you. So why am I at the church? Real simple. My house is loud. My house is loud. If you know my house, I have 4 little people. 4 little people that live there. This is my privacy feature. So I put this on my webcam when I'm not using it. There are 4 little people that live in my house, and yeah, I'm right now at the church at Cornerstone, and there's 4 little people that live with me at my house, and they're just noisy. And today we gave up. We just gave up. We said, go watch TV, do whatever you want. We're done being parents. So I have a feeling that they're going to be awake playing Minecraft and watching who knows what on the Disney Channel when I get home at 8:30 tonight. And so that's life in my house right now. So I came over to the church just for a little bit of sanity, a little bit of quiet, and so that I could be with you and not be interrupted. So that's why I'm here. And also, it's just really nice to be here. You know, have the nice set in the background. Eventually, I'd like to get back to using like the full like camera crew setup dealio. So tonight I won't be able to like show you slides and stuff, but who needs that? I have cool lights. So that's what's going on tonight. Let's jump into a game. I have a cool game tonight. So you don't get to see the slides, so you got to listen up, and I'll tell you what to do. Okay. So tonight the game is. Let me see. Should I stay or should I go? Okay. 2 options. That's 4. 2 options. You pick one, and you just let me know. Excuse me. If you're gonna stay or if you're going to go, okay? So the game is just how badly do you want to leave the house right now, okay? So I'm going to give you a bunch of different scenarios, and you're going to tell me if you're going to stay home or if you're going to go out, okay? And you can boil it down to a simple stay or go, okay? So stay home or go, okay? That's simple, right? Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm going to read out this little thingy, and you're going to tell me stay or go. Okay, so first one, you get to go to school, but it's only an exam day. Okay, you get to go to school, but it's only an exam day. Do you go or do you stay? Lynn is going. Okay. Interesting. It's only an exam. That's all you're going to school for. Amy's staying home, Sean's staying home, Joe is staying home. Kristen's staying home. Lynn just needs out. I hear you. I am an introvert at heart, and yet even sometimes I just have to be out. Can you just say stay for you can just say stay for everything, but I must warn you, some of these are going to get good. So I'm going to stay home because I am homeschooled. Hey, you know what? There you go. You probably have to do the exam later anyway. Yeah, no one actually said that the exam only for the one day. Okay, so you get to go to church, but you have to come up on stage and you have to do welcome, announcements, and prayer. You get to come to church, but you have to be up here and you have to do welcome, announcements, and prayer. Oh, and I'm going to add in everyone is here. The room is full, okay? The room is full. And you have to be up here. You have to welcome everyone. You have to do announcements and you have to pray. Go, 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 go. Absolutely not. Yeah. Ethan's staying. Good. Amy Els, you would do it. Kristen's doing it. I would do them via video from home. Yeah. All of this is assuming that COVID is not a concern and you actually could go out for whatever reason. I don't know. Okay, let's do number 3. Okay, you get to go to a concert with your best friend, but the band is awful and plays your least favorite style of music. Your least favorite style of music. You get to go out to a concert with your best friend, but your least favorite kind of music. Andrew, Ethan gets to pick your music. Go, stay home, stay, go. Nope. Country music is bad. Go because they like it. Friend only betrays you. It is a hard one. Like, bad music absolutely would give you a headache. Like, it would be bad music. Your least favorite type of music. Bethany's going to hang out with her friend and just bring earplugs. Smart. Nice. Okay, next one. Okay, you get to see your favorite team play and sit in the front row near the team, but you have to openly root for the other team. Okay, you get to go see your favorite team play and sit in the front row near the team, but you have to openly root for the other team. Joe doesn't watch sports, but would you go? Would you go and sit on the side and root for the other team? That's true. Lynn, you often do change teams just to support the underdog, right? Joe's staying home and playing FIFA. Bethany is going and taping her mouth shut. Teely Cubed is watching the esports highlight later. I don't know. Like, depending on your favorite team and depending on the team that they are playing, also depending on the people you're sitting around, depends on if you're going to get beat up that day or not. Okay, you get to go to Disneyland with your family, but you have to hold everyone's stuff while they go on rides without you. You get to go to Disneyland with your family, but you have to hold everyone's stuff while they go on the rides without you. I mean, this sounds to me kind of like being a parent, actually. You get to go with your whole family, but you have to hold all their things. Yeah, Amy, that's your life anyways, right? Okay, there's a couple to go, a couple to stay. Andrew's taking a shopping cart or something with him. Ethan, stay. You'd rather go with a bunch of your friends. Joe would just do the rides without them. Yeah, you have to get in some rides yourself. Yeah. I don't know. Tealy cubed. I just don't know. Okay. You get to go to your favorite restaurant, but you have to eat with your arch nemesis. That would be your worst enemy, in case you didn't know. You get to go to your favorite restaurant, but you have to eat for your arch nemesis. Are you going? Are you staying? Andrew's going. Kristen is staying. Caleb, go. Joe, go. Ethan is going. Caleb's rethinking the entire thing. If they pay, then sure. No, they're your arch nemesis. I think they're going to try and kill you while you're eating. Hey-oh! She's here. Welcome. Amy thinks she'll stay. And Caleb just realized who his arch nemesis is. I'm so curious. Sean doesn't have an arch nemesis. Boom! Problem solved. Okay, next one. You get to go to a birthday party with 100 people, but you don't know any of them. 100 people at a birthday party, and you don't know any of them. Yeah, I'm a stay. Not my scene. Free cake. Yeah, no one said he had to talk to anyone. Joe is going. Yeah, stay. Too loud. Yeah, 100 people. Introverts, we out. Free food. You have to bring a present too. You have to be polite. Be rude to show up without a present. Okay. You get to go to a movie, but you have to sit next to a loud talking stranger who chews popcorn with his mouth open the entire time. You get to go to a movie, but you sit next to a loud talking stranger who chews popcorn with his mouth open the entire time. Wow, pretty definitive answers here. Oh, Joe, you're our first go. Oh, Molly. Also parenting. Yeah, I was going to say, like, the last movie. No, that's not true. I do have talkers in the house. They are getting better. You never said I couldn't make them silent. Ouch. Okay. Here we go. One more. You get to go on a date with the person of your dreams, but your parents are also coming, and they tell embarrassing stories about you the entire time. Okay, so you get to go on a date with the person of your dreams, but your parents are also coming, and they're telling embarrassing stories about you the whole time. Do you go? Do you stay? It's the person of your dreams, but your parents are telling embarrassing stories about you. YOLO. Go. Been there, done that, still married the guy. Nice, Lynn. Good. Your mother is mean. Oof. Stay. I'm the person of my dreams. Aww. Match made in heaven. YOLO. I'm gonna go. This is the first one you're going for. 14 years of married, and there are a few embarrassing stories he hasn't heard. Oh, go, go. You don't have many embarrassing stories. I have a lot of stories that really should be embarrassing, but honestly, I'm quite proud of a lot of them. Sometime I'll have to get my mom to share what she considers some doozies of embarrassing stories, and we'll just play like a montage to me and embarrassing me. It'll be great. I think I have one more. One more. Okay. Would you stay? Would you go? You get to go to youth group in person again. And no but. You just get to go to youth group in person again. If any of you say you'll stay, I'm going to cry on live YouthTube. I should get my mom to be a guest speaker in YouthTube. Go, go, go. Aw, Amy. You're gonna make me cry on YouthTube. Kaliba, I will come over there. I will get you. Stay at youth group the whole night. Yeah. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, so we played a little game earlier, and Kristen and I think Amy worked together and figured this out. Okay, so if you're on mobile, you're going to need to switch to landscape mode just for a moment, okay? That means the chat disappears just briefly, but bear with me, okay? Once you get in panorama or landscape, you'll see this dot right here. You see it? Dot. If you can guess what that dot is, I'll be very proud of you. I'll be very proud of you. You see the dot? Yeah, dot, right there. Kristen and Amy already figured this out. Dot. Bink. If you don't see anything, try taking your phone, rotate it into landscape mode, and look for the dot. And if you can zoom in over hither. There is a dot. Okay, it was driving me crazy. Well, not driving me crazy, but I was curious. And so like I'm itching, I'm scratching my screen, and then I noticed that it was jiggling as I tapped my screen. So it's not my screen at all, but it's actually a dot. It could be a star. No, it's okay. So I'm at the church. They have been there for, let's see, 6 months now. They should not be up 6 months. But it is what it is. I haven't gotten the ladder out to take them down yet, so. But if you can, a hole in the green screen. No, I'm actually at the church. Like, actually, church. I'm here. Let me rotate for you. See, there's Andrew's stuff. There's the iPulpit. There's all the empty chairs and all my stuff over there that I haven't cleaned up. Yes, Brendan, you did it. It is a Christmas light. Well played. Oh, Sean, that's why I didn't give you credit, because you cheated. Just kidding. No, great job, guys. Proud of you. There you go. Got your, we should do attaboys. You know, I'll make like a whole slide up and maybe even print off like some attaboys, and it'll just be my face, me doing this or something like that. And it'll say attaboy down at the bottom. We'll do some attagirls too. And then as I tell you I'm proud of you, I'll give you an attaboy or an attagirl. And you can use them for nothing because they're not worth anything, but appreciation. L's Bucks. I love it. That's great. We're close. We actually just started. Do you guys get I just forgot the word, like completely lost the word. When you get money from your parents, allowance. Do you guys get an allowance? Is that a thing still? Do y'all get allowances? Like your parents give you like $5 a week or something? Buckaroos. That's a no to the allowance. You don't get an allowance. We just started doing allowances with our kids. We're trying to teach them money matters. Oh, they have to work for it and report on their work. Nice. Yeah, I never had an allowance growing up because we was po. You heard the joke. We were so po, we couldn't afford the R. That was me, bro. It's a real situation. Okay, so we're going to move into our lesson time tonight. Oh, I have some announcements. I have some really good announcements. So if you're in 6th grade and you're watching YouthTube tonight, or any night, or whatever, but if you're in 6th grade, every summer we have a moving up ceremony. It's not much. In fact, it's not anything. But we allow you to come to our youth events over the summer as you move into the 6th grade. Now, some of the 6th graders have been asking, when do we move up? And I'm excited to tell you because I actually have a date now. Last week I shared a date. I think I shared a date with y'all, but it's changed because we're living in a pandemic and everything changes. So the date used to be June 30th or July the 1st. I'm not really sure which date it was. It doesn't matter anyways because it's not the date anymore. So if you have a brother or sister in 6th grade, they're moving up into 7th grade this coming year, they can join a youth group like officially, whatever that means. I don't know why I air quoted officially, but that's what I did. So we're going with it. They can join officially on June the 5th. June the 5th. Okay? That's the last day that HRC has said that school, pandemic school, crisis schooling, whatever they call it these days, is ending, is on that 5th. And so I'll send out an email to some parents of 6th graders. They'll be joining our Discord server, so treat them nice. You don't have to treat them all that nice. I mean, you could play some jokes or something if you wanted to. Come up with some fun pranks. You know, light hazing, friendly things. Could be fun. When school opens. No, school's not opening. And youth isn't opening for a little while. So what I'm thinking, I'll go public with this right now because that is sad. Why do you only get off on the 17th? Is it? No, I don't know. I have no idea. That is sad. Oof. Big sad. So I think what's going to happen with YouthTube and youth in general, we have no idea what's going on. We have zero timeline. We have zero information on when things start getting rolled out. We have an idea that the Prime Minister and Doctor Strange, I call him Doctor Strange because it's a superhero name. It's actually Dr. Strange. But they're talking about these phases, and there's 28 days in a phase, and it's only good if things go well. We're not even in phase 1 yet, so he also said don't expect phase 1 this week. So got no information, but I think what's going to happen is eventually we'll be allowed back in the building, and I'll start inviting out some of the youth leaders, and we'll do YouthTube together. It'll be a couple of us leaders, maybe all of us leaders, doing this. And, you know, as time progresses, we might switch things up and maybe adopt some different technology like Zoom. We might try that out, where we all have cameras and can interact with each other. Discord just came out with an update. Did you see that? You can actually do video chat in Discord if we wanted to. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, let's move into our lesson for tonight. Now that we have all the sad news out of the way and all the good news, if you're in 6th grade, moving up. Tonight's lesson, we're talking about not so typical families having tough conversations. Having tough conversations. If you need to get another device that you can load the Bible on, you might want to do that. Or if you have one of these big guys, this is my Bible, you can run and get that. Okay, I'll give you 45 seconds to do that. Okay, 45 seconds, run and grab your Bible or another device. I have my phone over here, and then I have my iPad here, so I can, this will be for some verses. This will be for some verses. 45 seconds. And I'm not actually counting. We're around 35 seconds now. Yeah, Bible.com works. Head there, make up an account. You can read it for now. It's all good. We're probably around 20 seconds-ish, I presume. 15 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So again, we're talking about families, and this is now our 3rd week of talking about atypical families. Our 1st week, you got to hear Amy talk to us about atypical families, and I spoke to us about it last week on atypical families. Tonight, we're talking about atypical families and having tough conversations. Now, in my house, we have tough conversations all the time. Some of the tough conversations that we have, they happen at the dinner table of all places. And some of the tough conversations we have are about healthy eating. Yeah, healthy eating. Like tonight, we had an array of vegetables on the table. I'm talking like we had carrots, we had the little round tomatoes, we had cut up peppers, the orange, yellow, and red kind, and then we had hot dogs. And we in my house we have a 2 hot dog limit, and you also need to eat vegetables because they're healthy, they're good for you. It's good to eat vegetables. Okay, this is a public service announcement for those of you who don't like eating your vegetables. They are good for you. They won't kill you. In fact, they'll help keep you alive. So sometimes we have these awkward conversations about how you can't have your second hot dog until you have more vegetables. That's just the way it is. And it's just the way it has to be. And sometimes we don't have as much healthy food, but we have healthier options. Sometimes we don't even have healthier options. So sometimes we say, finish your hot dog before you get more fries. Okay. Sometimes that sort of stuff happens in my house, but we have these fun, challenging conversations all the time. And there are conversations that are, they're awkward to have with your family. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's awkward conversations. But then there's other conversations that are just plain difficult to have. You know the types of conversations that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the tough conversations you have to have when there's conflict, when someone has been hurt, or someone has made a bad decision and they need to apologize. Those kind of tough discussions. So like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, every family is an atypical family because no family is perfect. And because no family is perfect, every family occasionally has to have a tough conversation. In my house, we have these tough conversations, and they get a little bit more serious, the older my kids get. We just had a conversation yesterday about using nice words. One of the things that has caught on in our house, and I'm not really sure where it came from, but it keeps happening, is my girls will call each other dummy or stupid when they're really angry. And of course, they don't mean to say these mean things to their sisters, but they're really passionate people, and they get caught up in whatever it is that they're doing. And when they feel hurt, they lash out with words. And so I was trying to tell them yesterday, we had a very long, difficult conversation about this, about how your words, when you say things to other people, they matter a lot, and they can hurt someone else. But your words also have the power to lift other people up. And so it's really important that as sisters, because I'm talking to my kids now, that you bring out the best in your sisters, that you build positivity into them, that you compliment each other, that you build each other up. And so that was a tough conversation that we had to have. And maybe these tough conversations happen because of a difference of opinion, or maybe an unwise choice that someone made. Maybe someone's feelings got hurt, or there was a misunderstanding that needed to be addressed. Typical families, they either avoid having these conversations or they have them, but the conversations don't go very well. Now, atypical families, on the other hand, they approach their tough family conflicts and conversations very differently. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been saying that your atypical family can be used by God to do amazing and atypical things in the world. But how? So last week we talked about how atypical families pray for each other when there's conflict. And today we're going to talk about a second thing that atypical families do. So I'm going to encourage you to get your Bible out, okay? We're going to go to Genesis. That's the first book in the Bible. Genesis chapter 25. Genesis chapter 25. And we're going to read verses 21 to 34. Now, I'm going to be reading out of the Message Bible, which is a little bit different than most other Bible translations, only because it's not a Bible translation. It's a paraphrase, okay? So the difference between a a translation and a paraphrase is a translation comes out of the original text, a paraphrase comes out of a translation, and is kind of a summarization of what's going on in that passage. Okay? So one comes from the original language, one comes from another translation. Okay? So it's kind of like a copy of a copy. It doesn't matter too much. Okay. First Genesis. There is no such thing. Genesis chapter 25. And we're going to be verses 21 to 34. Again, if this doesn't match up with what you're reading, it's only because I'm using the Message translation. If you're on Bible.com, just hit the drop down, change to the Message. Easy peasy. Okay. 21, Genesis 25, 21 through 34. Okay. I'm actually going to start at 21. Yeah, that's okay then. It says, Isaac prayed hard to God for his wife because she was barren. God answered his prayer and Rebekah became pregnant. But the children tumbled and kicked inside her so much that she said, if this is the way it's going to be, why go on living? Wow, dramatic much? I haven't been pregnant, so I can say that. I don't know what it's like. She went to God to find out what was going on, and God told her, 2 nations are in your womb, 2 peoples butting heads while still in your body. One people will overpower the other, and the older will serve the younger. When her time to give birth came, sure enough, there were twins in her womb. The first came out reddish, as if snugly wrapped in a hairy blanket. Ew. I added that. They named him Esau. Hairy. His brother followed. His fist clutched tight to Esau's heel. They named him Jacob. Heel. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. The boys grew up. Esau became an expert hunter, an outdoorsman. Jacob was quiet, a quiet man, preferring life indoors among the tents. Isaac loved Esau because he loved his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Ooh, little favoritism via the parents. One day, Jacob was cooking a stew. Esau came in from the field, starved. Esau said to Jacob, give me some of that red stew. I'm starved. That's how he became to be called Edom, red. Jacob said, make me a trade, my stew for your rights as the firstborn. Esau said, I'm starving. What good is a birthright if I'm dead? Jacob said, first, swear to me. And he did. On an oath, Esau traded away his rights as the firstborn. Jacob gave him bread and the stew of lentils. He ate and drank, got up, and left. That's how Esau shrugged off his rights as the firstborn. Okay, we're going to jump over to chapter 27. Chapter 27, and we're going to read 1 through 45. Okay, stay with me. When Isaac had become an old man, he was nearly blind. He called his eldest son Esau and said, my son. Yes, father? I'm an old man, he said. I might die any day now. Do me a favor. Get your quiver of arrows and your bow and go out in the country and hunt me some game. Then fix me a hearty meal, the kind that you know I like, and bring it to me to eat so that I can give you my personal blessing before I die. Rebekah was eavesdropping as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. As soon as Esau had gone off to the country to hunt some game for his father, Rebekah spoke to her son Jacob. I just overheard your father talking with your brother Esau, he said. Bring me some game and fix me a hearty meal so that I can eat and bless you with God's blessing before I die. Now, my son, listen to me. Do what I tell you. Go to the flock and get me 2 young goats. Pick the best. I'll prepare them into a hearty meal, the kind that your father loves. Then you'll take it to your father. He'll eat and bless you before he dies. But Mom, Jacob said, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I have smooth skin. What happens if my father touches me? He'll think I'm playing games with him. I'll bring down a curse on myself instead of a blessing. If it comes to that, said his mother, I'll take the curse upon myself. Now, just do what I say and go get the goats. So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she cooked a hearty meal, the kind his father loved so much. Rebekah took the dress-up clothes of her older son Esau, put them on her younger son Jacob. She took the goat skins and covered his hands and the smooth nape of his neck. Then she placed the hearty meal she had fixed and fresh bread she baked into the hands of her son Jacob. He went to his father and said, My father. Yes, he said, which son are you? Jacob answered his father, I'm your firstborn, Esau. I did what you told me. Come now, sit up and eat of my game so you can give me your personal blessing. Isaac said, So soon? How did you get it so quickly? Because your God cleared the way for me, Isaac said. Come close, son. Let me touch you. Are you really my son, Esau? No, Jacob moved close to his father Isaac. Isaac felt his arm and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. He didn't recognize him because his hands were hairy, like his brother's, Esau. But as he was about to bless him, he pressed him. You're sure you are my son Esau? Yes, I am, Isaac said. Isaac said, Bring me the food so I can eat of my son's game and give you my personal blessing. Jacob brought it to him and he ate. He also brought him wine and he drank. Then Isaac said, Come close, son, and kiss me. He came close and kissed him, and Isaac smelled the smell of his clothes and finally blessed him. Ah, the smell of my son, it is like the smell of an open country, blessed by God. May God give you of heaven's dew and earth's bounty of grain and wine. May people serve you and nations honor you. You will master your brothers, and your mother's sons will honor you. Those who curse you will be cursed. Those who bless you will be blessed. And then right after Isaac had blessed Jacob and Jacob left, Esau showed up from the hunt. He also had prepared a hearty meal. He came to his father and said, Let my father get up and eat of his son's game that he may give me his personal blessing. His father Isaac said, And who are you? I'm your son, your firstborn, Esau. Isaac started to tremble. Shaking violently, he said, Then who hunted game and brought it to me? I finished the meal just now before you walked in and blessed him. He's blessed for good. Esau, hearing his father's words, sobbed violently and most bitterly and cried to his father, My father, can't you bless me? Your brother, he said, came here falsely and took your blessing. Esau said, Not for nothing was he named Jacob the heel. Twice now he's tricked me. First he took my birthright, and now he's taken my blessing. He begged, Haven't you kept back any blessing for me? Isaac answered Esau, I've made him your master, and all his brothers his servants, and lavished grain and wine on him. I've given it all away. What's left for you, my son? But don't you just have one blessing for me, father? Oh, bless me, my father, bless me, Esau sobbed. inconsolably. Isaac said to him, "You'll live far from earth's bounty, remote from heaven's dew. You'll live by your sword, hand to mouth, and you'll serve your brother. But when you can't take it anymore, you'll break loose and run free." Big oof. So this story has like a lot going on. So far in this series, we've met two families. We've met the family of Adam and Eve, the world's very first family. Last week, we met the family of Abraham, and both of these families were atypical, and they're imperfect in their own ways. There's disobedience to God, there's lies, there's murder, there's conflict, disagreements, and all these things make the stories of these families far from perfect. Today, I introduced to you another family. That story is a story about the family of Isaac and Rebekah and their two sons, Jacob and Esau. Isaac was the son of Abraham, who we talked about last week, which means Jacob and Esau were Abraham's grandsons. But Jacob and Esau's story isn't the story of brotherly love at all. It's the story of an imperfect relationship from the start. I mean, there's competition, there's jealousy, deception, conspiracies, costumes, heartbreak, and soup. I mean, there's a lot going on here. But here's the bottom line. With help from his mom, Jacob tricked his brother Esau into giving up something of great value. With his mom's help, Jacob tricked his dying father into giving him a gift that was never intended for him. And instead of owning up to this bad behavior and making things right, Jacob ran away and again did this with his mother's help. I mean, could you imagine being a member of this family? There's so much pain, so much deceit, and so much cruelty for just one family. But you know, that's not the end of Jacob and Esau's story. Years later, Jacob, he's remarried and he has children of his own. But he hasn't spoken to Esau since the day that he ran away. And now he's on his way to Esau's city. Okay? Knowing that Esau has every reason to hate and probably even kill him, Jacob sends messengers to Esau with lots and lots of gifts, hoping to show Esau that he's sorry. Okay, we're going to read again in Genesis 32. Genesis chapter 32, verses 4 through 12. Okay, it says, "Then Jacob sent messengers on ahead to his brother Esau in the land of Seir in Edom. He instructed them, 'Tell my master Esau this, a message from your servant Jacob. I've been staying with Laban and couldn't get away until now. I've acquired cattle and donkeys and sheep, also men and women servants. I'm telling you all this, my master, hoping for your approval.' The messengers came back to Jacob and said, 'We talked to your brother Esau, and he's on his way to meet you, but he has 400 men with him.' Jacob was scared, very scared. Panicked, he divided his people, sheep, cattle, and camels, into two camps. He thought, if Esau comes on the first camp and attacks it, the other camp has a chance to get away. And Jacob prayed, 'God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, God who told me, go back to your parents' homeland, and I'll treat you well. I don't deserve all the love and loyalty you've shown me. When I left and crossed the Jordan, I only had the clothes on my back, and now look at me, two camps. Save me, please, Lord, from the violence of my brothers, my angry brother. I'm afraid he'll come and attack us all, me, my mothers, and the children. You yourself said, I will treat you well. I'll make your descendants like the sands of the sea, far too many to count.'" So amazingly, Esau didn't let years of separation get in their way. I've had some tough conversations with my family before, but nothing like the tough conversation that's about to happen. Jacob knows he needs to make things right with his brother Esau, but who knows what Esau could be thinking? When conflict happens, but you're too stubborn or angry or ashamed or even afraid to have tough conversations with your family, it leaves room for some ugly things to grow. After years of silence, Esau might hate Jacob. He might even want him dead. And yet, amazingly, this happens. Genesis 33, verse 4 through 12. 33, 4 through 12. He led the way, and as he approached his brother, bowed 7 times, honoring his brother. But Esau ran up to him and embraced him, held him tight and kissed him, and they both wept. Then Esau looked around and saw the women and children. And who are these with you, Jacob said, the children that God saw fit to bless me with? Then the maidservants came up with their children and bowed. Then Leah and her children also bowing, and finally Joseph and Rachel came up and bowed to Esau. Esau then asked, and what was the meaning of all those herds that I met? Well, I was hoping that they would pave the way for my master to welcome me. Esau said, "Oh, brother, I have plenty of everything. Keep what is yours for yourself." Jacob said, "Please, if you can find it in your heart to welcome me, accept these gifts. When I saw your face, it was the face of God smiling on me. Accept the gifts that I have brought for you. God has been good to me, and I have more than enough." Jacob urged the gifts on him, and Esau accepted. So this is amazing. Esau didn't let the years of separation from his brother fill him with hatred or anger, and instead Esau wanted to have a relationship with Jacob again. But Jacob and Esau's conversation could have gone very differently. You know, it makes sense that Jacob was afraid to meet with Esau. He was probably ashamed to admit the wrong that he had done. But he was also afraid that Esau might retaliate. And Esau could have screamed at Jacob, attacked him, or maybe even killed him. And that would have probably been understandable. Jacob had stolen so much from Esau and had never made it right. And yet, against all odds, Esau doesn't show up to kill Jacob. He showed up with open arms, ready to have a conversation. Esau's willingness to have a conversation with Jacob, even after what Jacob did to him, it's pretty amazing. And it was absolutely essential to healing their relationship. You know, many years after Jacob and Esau reconciled, Jesus preached a sermon to a group of his followers, and part of that sermon was about having tough conversations. In the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 15 to 17, it says this: "If another believer sins against you, go privately and point out the offense. If the other person listens and confesses to it, you've won that person back. But if you're unsuccessful, take 1 or 2 others with you and go back again so that everything you say may be confirmed by 2 or 3 witnesses. If the person still refuses to listen, take your case to the church. Then, if he or she won't accept the church's decision, treat that person as a pagan or a corrupt tax collector." You see, God loves to see us living at peace with each other, but not fake peace, where we smile at each other, but secretly we hate each other. Like we learned 2 weeks ago when we read the story of Adam and Eve, God designed us to be in a relationship with God and with each other. And when we refuse to have tough conversations with each other, it separates us from each other. And when we hang on to bitterness and anger, it keeps us from having a closer relationship with God too. So throughout this series, we've been saying that if you want God to use your family to do atypical things, sometimes you have to be the first person in your family to do something atypical. And that's exactly what Esau does in this story. And it's what Jesus teaches us to do also. When you're hurt or you've been hurt by someone in your family, the typical response is stay angry, avoid that person, and get bitter. But Esau chose to do the atypical thing. He met with Jacob. He had a tough conversation. And it's simple to read a story like this in the Bible, and it might seem simple, but it is so atypical. Not so typical families, they have tough conversations. And just like a tough conversation changed Jacob and Esau's families for the better, being willing to have a tough conversation can change your family for the better too. Every family has conflict. They struggle to make things right. But atypical families choose to have tough conversations in order to stay in relationships with each other. You see, having tough conversation, it makes room for healing. It makes room for repentance. It helps us learn to communicate and understand each other's perspectives. It helps us and gives us a chance to create a solution together that benefits everyone. So, how do you have these tough conversations? Having tough conversations with a family member doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as asking, hey, can we talk about what happened? It could be as simple as being patient while they share their feelings and perspective, and really listening to their point of view. You have to be honest about what you think and what you feel, even when it's hard. And sometimes it's admitting that you're wrong. But ultimately, it's about valuing your relationship with the person more than it needing to be right. So, I want you to think right now about a conflict that you have with a family member. Now, imagine how that conflict could be transformed if you're willing to have a tough conversation about it. How do you think a tough conversation could change your attitude or perspective? How do you think a tough conversation could change the person that you're fighting with? And how do you think a tough conversation could begin to change your family's pattern of behavior in the long term? Now, I know it can be scary to have tough conversations with your family. Our family members, they have more power than anyone to make us feel safe and to make us feel loved. But they also have more power than anyone to hurt us. And if there's a tough conversation that you want or that you need to have with a family member, maybe practicing that tough conversation is the way to go. Maybe have that conversation in a mirror before you do that. As we finish up tonight, I want you to ask yourself, and you don't have to write anything in the chat about this. Ask yourself, are there any tough conversations that you should have with your family? Are there any tough conversations that you should have with your family? When conflicts happen, typical families, they get bitter and they avoid resolving their conflicts. But not so typical families, they have conversations. They have tough conversations that help them heal and to grow. And if you commit to resolving your conflicts with your family through tough conversations, I mean, just imagine how God might be able to use your family to do atypical things in the world. I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to post another song in the Discord music channel, and it's called Don't Give Up on Me by Andy Grammer, and it speaks to what we're talking about here tonight. So I'd encourage you to head over to Discord once we're done here and have a listen once I post that song. But right now, I want to take a moment to pray, and I think what we're going to do is, if you need to have a tough conversation with someone in your family, I just want you to write down in the chat just me, M-E, okay? If you need to have a tough conversation with someone in your family, you want me and all the leaders praying for you and all the youth praying for you. You don't have to tell us what it is, who it's with, what it's about, nothing, none of that. We're just going to pray for you. If that's you, if you want us to pray for you, you need someone to pray for you. You need to have a tough conversation. Just write M-E, me, and we'll pray for you. Okay? If that's you, go ahead and write it. Don't care about what other people are thinking about you. Don't care about who's reading the messages right now or how things are going to look. Just put it down. Me. I need prayer. I need to have a tough conversation with someone in my family, and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. God wants to help you. God wants to be there with you, and we want to pray for you as well. Okay? If that's you, me. That's all I'm asking. I won't ask you who it's for. I don't need to know any details. I'm just going to pray for you. Okay? Let's pray together. Father, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for YouthTube. We can just come together and have youth together. That we get to spend some time just chatting and learning about family situations and how every family is atypical and how we might be a little bit more atypical and how we could be used by you to be an even more atypical family, but one that's so powerful and used by you. God, tonight, I know there's some students out here that are having they need to have a tough conversation. Maybe they've been hurt or they've hurt someone, and they just need to have a conversation about it. They just need to get it out in the open, because that's what atypical families do. They need to deal with it. They don't want to sit on it any longer. They don't want to get bitter by it, and they don't want it to slow down their relationship with you. God, if that's any of these students, Lord, I pray for them. I pray that you would give them the boldness to carry out what they need to do. Give them the wisdom to know when to do it, and give them the words to say to do it properly. God, for other students, there's some other things going on in their lives, and God, I want to pray for each one of them. I want to pray that you would just pour out your presence in their life. Would you pour out your grace in their life? And God, as we're all stuck at home, as we're all in close quarters with family, and these people have such a huge capacity to make us feel safe and to make us feel loved, there's also such a capacity for low patience and for hurt to rise up. And God, I pray that they would be able to communicate, that they would be able to find ways to stay entertained and to stay busy in this time. God, we love you. We thank you again for this time. And God, I give it all to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you sticking around in the chat and hanging out with me tonight. It's been fun. How are you guys doing, though? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to put a number on it, how are you doing? And also, post your selfie in the Discord server because I'd like to see you guys. Hey, I'm happy to be here. I love doing youth, and glad that we could do this together. It's fun. And I'll post my selfie. Bethany, your message got held. You needed to approve it. That's funny. Someone stalked your house today. That doesn't sound good. Story time. Oh, jeepers. That'd be scary. Oh, man. He might have even seen you and was freaked out himself. You talking to me? Did I just call you Molly? Did I? You can rewind the stream if you need to. Double check. Oh, Mooly. I get it. Got it. Yeah, it wasn't me at all. Good. I'm glad it wasn't me. Caleb, say you're sorry. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go home, so I won't be on Discord in just a few moments, but you guys can head over there for the after party or whatever it is that you do in Roblox. I did make a Roblox account, so you got to find me. I'll post my game. Is it called a game tag? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I made one, so friend me. I'll post it in Discord what my name is, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, good night. Have a good night, and we'll see you in Discord or next week. Bye-bye.